What's good, y'all? It's your boy BioSparta 3.0, keeping the action going with the Black Series, Morgan Elsbeth from Ahsoka. Alright, so here we are, guys. Full review time. Had some time to kind of, play around with her here, see what she's all about, and yeah, pretty solid figure. Again, she doesn't come with very much. You see that she's holding the hollow map in her hands right now. That obviously does not come with her. That is the map from the SHF Ahsoka that I recently reviewed. I just wanted to see if it could fit into her hands, well, and it turns out it does. So that is, a nice thing to know, and I will probably have her displayed holding this hollow map most of the time. I just really hope that I don't lose it. Hopefully it doesn't fall out of her hands and get lost in my room, because as you can see, it is very small, and I imagine if you have carpet, it would be very easy to lose. Luckily in my room I have hardwood floor, so it'd be a little bit easier to find, but still it is a very small piece, and I hope I don't lose it. But yeah, so here is Morgan Elsbeth out of the box, and you can see she looks pretty nice, man. Some nice details going on here. Definitely one of the better likenesses, I will say, for the Black Series. Very nicely done. I think they really pretty much nailed it as far as the likeness for Diana Lee Inosanto. Yeah, and something, I don't know, she has like a familiar face to me for some reason. I don't think I've seen her in anything else besides Ahsoka, but I don't know, just something about her face like has a familiarity to it. So maybe I have seen seen something that she was in the past and I just forgot. But yeah, great actress, man. I think she really killed the role for Morgan Elsbeth. Playing one of the witches or night sisters of Dathomir. Very, very cool. And the first time I was introduced to those characters was in the Jedi Fallen Order game. With Cal and Marin and everything. So to know that Morgan here is one of the Night Sisters is a nice, interesting fact to know. And yeah, I'm constantly learning about new Star Wars lore. So very nice to see a new character from that sisterhood. Very, very cool stuff. But yeah, there is Morgan. So I forgot to bring in the rotating display stand, but I'll just bring her in for a closer look and we'll get a 360 at her. I'll take this map out of her hands real quick. I'm gonna set it aside, make sure I do not lose it here. All right. But yeah, we'll take a up close look at her. All right, and here she is, and as I said, the likeness you can see in the face, very, very nice, man. That definitely looks like Diana Lee Inosanto. Morgan Elsbeth from the Ahsoka show, very, very nice likeness. So I'm sure they did, the face scanning for her, and yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. That looks great. Love the sculpt of the face. Very nice paint for the lips, the eyes, the eyebrows, even the little kind of witch tattoo that she has like in the center of her forehead there. Very, very nicely done. So yeah, I think Hasbro pretty much nailed it as far as the details go. And again, like this red tunic that she has, very, very nicely done also. I like how they have like the darker red, like almost like maroon color for the majority of the tunic, and then this kind of like lighter red streaks in here in the middle, just to give it a little bit of depth, a little bit of contrast and flare. That looks really, really nice. Same thing down here at like these wraps around like her wrist and her palms and her thumb there. That looks really nice in the lighter red color. And like these little red bands going around her forearm. That looks really nice as well. And you can see on her waist piece, like this little wrap going around her waist. This little buckle is nicely painted, and nice sculpt for those wraps and everything. And some nice detailing going in the the little skirt piece that she has. Excuse me. Oh, I'm losing my voice. Sorry guys, I am getting over a cold and I really hate being sick. So if my voice sounds funny or goes out during this video, I apologize. I am getting over a cold right now. But yeah, so again, very nice details in this skirt piece. Like there's some textured detail in there. Hopefully that's showing up on camera. But taking a look at the back of her, again, very nice details continued. You got some sculpted wrinkles even back here in her tunic, as well as like some sculpted patterns going on in the middle there. Very nice. The wraps for her arms all look really good. And that textured pattern is continued all the way through the back of her skirt. And you can see they cut some slits into her skirt so that she's able to, obviously articulate. So, there's kind of like a flap in the front. You can see her legs underneath there, and that's going to allow her to get some very nice articulation. And so, yeah, since she doesn't come with any accessories, we'll just get straight to play and display. I know, it's fast, right? Only 5 minutes in, and we're already getting into play and display. That's because, she really doesn't come with anything except herself. So there's that. But yeah, we'll start with the head articulation. She can look up pretty nicely there. The sculpt, the back part of her hair is sculpted kind of like, it's kind of funny. I just noticed that her hair is sculpted kind of outward from her neck. If you can see that, it's almost like a shelf, which is kind of weird, that it doesn't like lay flat against her neck, but I'm sure that was to allow for some better articulation. But yeah, so like when she looks up, that hair piece in the back is gonna like run into, her neck and around the collar piece, so it's gonna hinder it from going any farther than that. But that is some decent looking up. She can look up pretty decently there. Looking down, pretty nice as well. She doesn't tuck her chin in like all the way, but it's pretty nice. Like you can see there from the front, she looks down pretty nicely. Ball peg, so of course you're gonna get some nice tilt side to side, some nice expressive tilts in there. All right, that looks good. Full rotation, of course. So yeah, very, very nice. For the arm articulation, she is on like a ball and hinge, so she's able to raise the arms up this far out to the side. Basically a perfect T-pose. She's not really going to go higher than that because of this overlay piece right here, which is done in a somewhat soft plastic, but it's rigid enough to where it's not going to really allow her to go up further than that. So you're going to get basically a perfect 90 out to the sides, down back by her sides very well. I like that. I like that her arms fall naturally to her side and they don't stick out awkwardly, so that's good. Does she have a bicep swivel? No, for a second they tricked me, bro. I almost thought she had a bicep swivel. I was looking at the sculpt of one of the wraps on her upper arm, and I thought that was a cut for a bicep swivel, but nope. That would actually be like a really high bicep swivel too, because it would be basically at her shoulder. But yeah, no bicep swivel, but she does have single jointed elbows that allow for just about like a 90-degree bend, maybe slightly better. So you get about that much bend at the elbow, and the elbow does swivel, of course, side to side, as most Black Series figures do. And then for her hands or wrist, she has vertical hinges, so she can move her hands up and down like that, and they do, of course, rotate a full 360. Arms can, arms can windmill pretty much a perfect 360. Again, it is going to kind of run into this overlay piece, but you can push past that. And yeah, it's going to it might stress the plastic over time, so just be careful with that. But this is a pretty tough piece, so it shouldn't wear out too easily. But yeah, so you can do a full 360 windmill with the arm. You bring the arms forward pretty nicely, no butterfly joints or anything, so she's pretty much just gonna go straight out, or actually kind of at an angle, not even like completely straight. Going backwards with that hinge, she's gonna get about that much moving backwards. Okay, so not a whole lot of range because no butterfly joint, but that's all right. She's not like the most flexible. She is a pretty like acrobatic character in the show. I'm not gonna lie. Like when she's fighting Ahsoka, she definitely does a lot of acrobatic stuff. But for this type of figure, I think she has a pretty good amount of range. So that's all right. As far as her torso articulation, she has looks like a ball peg setup in the diaphragm, so she can first of all twist side to side. She can go full 360 if you really wanted to. She can twist there. She can lean pretty nicely. So she gets some pretty nice leaning side to side. So that's pretty nice. That's going to help her get some dynamic posability. She can crunch forward about that far, which really isn't much. Just a little bit of crunching forward. Crunching back is a little bit better. She gets a little better range going backwards, but not a whole lot. And then for the legs, move the skirt piece out the way. She actually has a thigh swivel, which a lot of, quite a few Black Series figures don't necessarily always have thigh swivels, but it's nice to see that she does. Unless I'm tripping. Actually, well, yeah, it can go either way with the Black Series. Sometimes they do thigh swivels, sometimes they don't. But nice to know that she does have a thigh swivel cut, so you can rotate at the thighs. You can kick forward very nicely. She gets a nice high kick in there. So a little better than 90 degrees kicking up. That's pretty nice. Going backwards, she can kick about that much, which is decent. About the same as like a Marvel Legends. It's going to run into the sculpt, but you get about that much range going back. She has double jointed, or actually, is this a single joint? No, I take that back. Single jointed knees. Single jointed knees, but she is able to still get some really good range though. I mean, definitely not to like the lower back or anything, but I mean, that's not bad. Comes back pretty far, so you have that. And she does have rotation in the knees similar to the elbows, so that's good. And then she does have a hinge for the foot, so she can go all the way down like that to the tippy toes, which looks nice. She can kick her foot up about, sorry, moving it all over the place. She can kick her foot up about that much if I move the skirt out of the way. And it looks like her leg is broken right there. But yeah, you can see that she kicks up about that far. And she does have a nice ankle pivot rocker in there. And she can somewhat like swivel her foot side to side, but it's not like a real rotation. It's kind of just like that pivot that's moving the foot side to side. But yeah, you would probably want to use the knee joint for the rotation if you really wanted to do that. And yeah, that's pretty much it as far as her articulation goes. Not a whole lot, but again, she's not like a super dynamic character. And as you can see, she doesn't come with anything, so there's not too much to display her with, which is why I'm going to have her displayed with the holo map that came with my SHF Ahsoka. But yeah, there is your Black Series Morgan Elsbeth from the Ahsoka show. And again, man, I think she looks pretty fantastic. I think they really nailed the likeness overall. I really like how they handled the hair. The hair looks pretty nice as well. Nice blending of like the kind of gray hair in the front here as it goes into like this kind of black, this kind of black hair in the front. And then it slowly fades into like some more grays. You can see the sculpting for like the top of her head. It looks pretty nice. So, some nice, very nice, hair strands sculpted in, and then coming around to the back, you can see, her little, I guess, not ponytail, but yeah, this kind of tied up hair back here, sculpted very, very nicely. And again, some more of that kind of black creeping in down here on the sides and in the bottom, coming back up. And yeah, I mean, just all around a really nice sculpt. Very nice head sculpt there. Definitely looks like her in the show, so that is great. But yeah, just very nice details overall. So, man, really not much with this figure. I wish I could say more about her, but I mean, that's pretty much it. I guess I'll show her legs one more time in better detail. Oh, I did forget to show out to the side. Forgot about that. My bad. For plain display. So she does get a very nice splits. All right, her legs can spread very wide out to the side, so she gets almost like just shy of a perfect splits. I'm trying to move all these skirt pieces out the way so you can see her legs better. But yeah, she does have very, very nice out to the side range for the legs. So that is nice to know. But yeah, so that is Morgan Elsbeth. And wow, that went so quick. I really wish I had more to say about her, but I mean that's just about it as far as she goes. So yeah, with that, I guess we will get into size comparisons. So yeah, and just real quick, I want to show the tattoo on her forehead. I mean, very nicely painted. I just wanted to say that really quick. I really like this kind of. I never really looked at the tattoo on her forehead, but I guess it's supposed to be like a crescent moon. And maybe a full moon like right underneath that. That's what I'm guessing. That's what those shapes remind me of. So, I mean, I think that's pretty cool. It's pretty nicely painted on her head. So, yeah, definitely. She definitely got that witch look going on, all right? Night Sister Dathomir, all right? Former Magistrate of Caladan, Morgan Elsbeth. So here she is. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into some size comparisons. And I forgot to mention this. This skirt piece is kind of like a floaty piece, so you can rotate it a bit, kind of like similar to Balin's. You can kind of like rotate that side to side, so it is a floaty piece. So be aware of that. So yeah, her articulation shouldn't be hindered very much due to that, and it is like a softer type of plastic, very flexy, so that's good. But yeah, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons with Miss Elsbeth. So make sure she's standing up straight here, head straight. Get her standing. Okay, good. There she is. So there is our, let's get her a little more centered here. Make sure her feet are good. Okay, there we go. All right, hopefully she stays upright. But yeah, there you go. So our first size comparison will bring in our Black Series Balin skull, modified with the Count Dooku legs for better height. All right, so here she is with Balin. And I gotta say, they look really good together. I stood her next to Balin earlier just to see how they looked. And yeah, they look very, very nice. I'm gonna bring the camera in a little bit closer so you can see the height better. But this looks just about right for what was in the show. He stands at a nice height compared to her. Trying to look at it from the camera. Yeah, so Diana is supposed to be about 5'4" in real life, so she should be like one of the shortest characters in the show, a little bit shorter than Ahsoka, well, by about like 3 inches, and then Balin is 6'3", so yeah, I think he has a pretty appropriate height over her. And if you look at the hallway scene when she gets rescued, rather, from her cell by Balin, and they're kind of like walking down the hallway together, this seems to be about just around like the right height. So yeah, I think that looks actually pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with the heights for these two. But yeah, let me back it up again. And on our other side, we'll bring in the Black Series Shin Hati Arcana. So this is the cloaked version of Shin. And there is the 3 of them. And I think they look amazing together, man. I can't wait to get, the full Ahsoka display, everybody reviewed, and get them all on my Ahsoka shelf going. But I still need Marok for sure. And yeah, I think they're all going to look really great standing side by side when we do that size comparison. But yeah, there you go. And so I think everybody looks pretty good here. So there is that. We'll move these two. We'll bring in the SHF Ahsoka just so y'all can see. And yeah, I mean, Ahsoka definitely has some height on Morgan here a little bit. All right, so let's slide this over, see that a little bit better. But yeah, I think I have her head down. Oops, got her head down a little bit too. So that's probably a little more accurate. And then get Morgan standing again. Trying to center her. Okay, there we go. So yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, here is the SHF Ahsoka with Morgan. And yeah, I mean, she should be a little bit taller than Morgan for sure, but I still think the SHF is definitely a bit too tall. And so I'm excited for that Mayfix figure to get here. Should be here hopefully soon. But yeah, I think that Mayfix Ahsoka is going to scale a lot better with her. But yeah, that's what the SHF one looks like. For another SHF comparison, we have the Mark 6 Battle Damaged Iron Man and the Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Phantom Menace. And you can see how the 3 of them scale. And I think that looks pretty good. Obi-Wan definitely has quite a bit of height on her, good amount of height, and Iron Man does as well. So I think that looks appropriate. So there you go. So those two. For some Marvel Legends, we'll bring in Marvel Legends Black Cat and a Marvel Legends Ned Leeds from No Way Home. The No Way Home 2-pack. So there you go. There she is with them. And I think that looks pretty good as far as heights go. Yeah, Morgan is definitely a smaller character. She's a little woman, petite woman. All right. For a G.I. Joe comparison, we have the G.I. Joe Snake Eyes Origins Akiko right here. All right, so get her with another lady, and we'll bring in, for Black Series, we'll bring in the Reva the third sister from Kenobi. And I think that looks about right. Moses Ingram, I believe, is around 5'5", so she should be a little bit taller for sure. I think Reva might be a little bit too tall, but like in the Black series, I think they might have upscaled her just a little bit. She should probably be a little bit shorter realistically, but you know, it is what it is. I like the height that she's at, so she still looks pretty good. But yeah, there you have those two. And who else? Let's get some Mafex. Let's bring in a Mafex comic version Daredevil right here. And a Mafex The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The No Way Home version with a Favreau head sculpt on there. Alright. Custom head sculpt by Favreau. So there you go. I think that looks pretty good. She looks tiny next to them, but she's supposed to, right? She is definitely a shorter lady. And then here is the Marvel Legends Maximum Spider-Man. And we'll bring in the Mattel Batman, the DC Universe All-Stars Classic 52 style Batman. All right, and obviously Batman towers over her, and same does the Maximum Spider-Man. So there you have that. All right, looking pretty good. We'll bring in the Toy Biz, The Thing from the Fantastic Four movie. For some more Black series, we'll bring in a Count Dooku next. Oh, Morgan. No. Stand tall, miss, please. Gotta take a group photo. All right, there you go. So yeah, there she is with that thing. And the Black series Count Dooku. Now she doesn't want to stand up, of course. Right, doing my size comparisons, huh? Now you're gonna be finicky. All right, there you go. But yeah, so there you guys can see those heights. Hopefully you got a good sense there. Moving them out the way. We'll bring in the ZD Toys Thanos. In-game Thanos right here. And for Darth Vader, we have the Black Series Duel's End Darth Vader from Kenobi. And that looks pretty good to me. I'm trying to get her, make sure she's completely centered. Okay, there you go. And yeah, both of them are towering over her. Thanos obviously more, but yeah, you get the idea. She is quite small compared to them. And we'll bring in Black Series Cobb Vanth, deluxe version, and Dark Ray from Rise of Skywalker. All right. So there she is, quite a bit shorter than each of them as well, as she should be. All right, and finishing it off, our last two comparisons, we have Odious from Unparalleled Universe, Odious the Living Curse, and the Mafex Darth Vader from Episode 3. All right, so there you have it. Those are your size comparisons with Miss Morgan Elsbeth. So there it is. That is it, guys. That's my review on the Black Series Morgan Elsbeth. I hope you guys enjoyed it. One thing I wanted to mention that I didn't get to mention in my first look was you'll notice my first look cut off a little bit at the end there. All I was trying to say at the end was that on their packaging for the Black Series, a lot of times they use like a very generic bio for a lot of the characters. It's like always the same. So I wish that they would kind of change that up and make, the bio a little more character specific, because, the one that they had on Morgan's box here, they have like on a lot of the Ahsoka figures. So, I just kind of wish that they would make them a little more character specific. I think that would be nice. But yeah, that's all I was trying to mention at the end of the short. So if you did see my first look, thank you very much. And if you watched this review, obviously, thank you very much for watching, and I appreciate y'all. It's been your boy, BioSpider 3.0, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace, take care, and if you're new, be sure to subscribe. Peace out.